Okay, so as most people by now who follow the show know, this time of year is my time of year.
You're not going to start singing, are you?
I'm not going to start singing. But I do come alive around August when football gets going.
Yes, you
Preseason
do.
camps are in. The fall college football camps are about to get started. I remember this time fondly too from my father. My dad loved the Cowboys. And of course, you know, it was always on TV. That was when the Cowboys were the Cowboys.
Well, when 92, 93, right?
That's right. You know your football too a little bit because
Well,
you covered football quite a bit in your career. And so what would you say is a memorable moment covering football for you?
Well, you know, it's funny you listening to you talk because you love football. I mean, particularly college football. We always feel like in Texas that we've got this particular passion for football. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when you see the Dallas Cowboys, you know, the most lucrative franchise on the planet, $6 billion price tag for the Cowboys, the most popular team or hated team, depending on where you are. I was in New York, and I covered the New York Jets for several seasons back in the 1990s, later 90s, right after the Cowboys had their run, three Super Bowls in 4 years and championships. Right after they beat Pittsburgh, like 2 months later, I was in New York working for Newsday, and I ended up covering the New York Jets. And the thing that really strikes me, and again, knowing how excited you are about football, was the different type of passion that New York fans have. Up there, they've got Giants versus Jets, Mets versus Yankees, Rangers versus Islanders. They've got across the spectrum of sports, all the different kind of major sports that are available are all up in New York. I parachuted into a situation in a region, in an area where they hated each other. The guy on that stoop hated the guy over on that stoop because he was had grown up a Brooklyn Dodgers fan and he was a New York Yankees fan, that kind of thing. The first year I covered the Jets was 1996. They finished 1-15 under this forgettable coach named Rich Kotite, who they had the owner Leon Hess had brought him over from the Philadelphia Eagles, a team that everyone also hated that was right down the road.
Right.
Fans who were fans of a team, they were fans to the level that they hated their own team.
Right.
They hated because if the team was the part of the spectator, the part of the sport of the whole thing was hating your team and being pessimistic about your team. And then they went out after the Super Bowl that year, which was my first Super Bowl I'd covered. I covered for Newsday. It was the Patriots against the Packers. Mm-hmm. Packers beat the Patriots. Patriots head coach was Bill Parcells. And during that offseason, the Jets got Bill Parcells away from the Patriots. It was a big scandal. All kinds of mess happened with that. But he came to New York. He was a guy that had led the Giants to 2 Super Bowl victories. And you know what? Lord knows he took that Jets team by the throat. They went from 1-15 to 8-game improvement the next year. And then the year after that, they go 12-4 and go into the final quarter of the AFC Championship game in Denver, up 10-7. Just that, 15 minutes away from going to the Super Bowl that year.
Right.
And I just think that was very interesting to watch that team and that fan base and everything. And I always look back at that and just think just how quickly it had turned around and to get a good feel of what New York fans are like.
Sure.
Just how passionate they are. And I think, when you talk about Red Sox-Yankees rivalries, you talk about Giants-Eagles and some of the different rivalries that happened up in New York, that was my first time. I had parachuted from Corpus Christi, Texas into that.
Right.
Where in Corpus Christi, like you, it was Cowboys or nothing. That's the one that comes to mind for me. And just, I saw football in a completely different light when you see those fans. And I'll tell you how bad those fans were. I would go to Giants Stadium to cover the Jets games every single week, and in 4 or 5 years of covering pro football up there, never once took the family to a game. Not gonna take the family to subject them to what was going on in the stands up there.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it would be bloody, warrior stuff every week. But that's my moment, the kind of seeing fans that I'd never seen before growing up in South Texas.
Right.
They're a different breed.
Well, that's what's brewing.
That's what's brewing.